There is a kind of loss that makes no sound. Nothing breaks. No one warns you. You simply wake up one morning and realize the door you were waiting for is closed. Most people call it bad luck, but it is rarely bad luck. Usually, it is 100 quiet evenings when we chose to wait. The strange thing about lost time is this: you never notice it leaving. You notice it when you finally need it. Tonight's story begins at a bus stop in a small town. A bus that left at 6 o'clock. A young man who was always a little late, and one question he could not answer for years: was he staying because he was needed, or because he was afraid? The bus came through that town every evening. The driver never hurried. He never waited. Rain, snow, or heat, the schedule remained the same. A young man named Leo watched that bus almost every day of his life. He never imagined that it would become the most important thing in it. Leo worked in his father's small grocery store. The wooden floor creaked beneath every step. The shelves leaned slightly to one side. His father had carried crates through that shop for 30 years. You could see those years in his hands. They were rough, swollen around the knuckles, and slow to open in the morning. Behind the counter, taped to the wall, was a child's drawing. A house, a light bulb, yellow lines spreading out from it. Leo had drawn it when he was 12. That was the winter a storm knocked out power across the town. His grandmother sat alone in the dark for hours. Then an electrician arrived with a small toolbox. Within an hour, the lights came back on. Leo never forgot the look on her face as she stood in that warm yellow light. He wanted to become the kind of person who could bring the light back. Years later, he found an evening course in the next town. The 6 o'clock bus could take him there. Leo signed up. His father never asked him to stay. But every evening, Leo looked at the crates, the customers, and those swollen hands. And he thought, if I leave now, he has to do all of this alone. So he stayed. The bus left, again and again. Every Tuesday, a white van parked outside the shop. A man named Omar came in for tea and bread. On the side of his van were 4 simple words: Omar repairs electrical work. Leo read those words every week. He never said anything about them. 6 weeks into the course, a letter arrived. His place had been given to another student. The following evening, Leo went to the training center anyway. He stood in the hallway and looked through the small window in the door. Someone else was sitting at the desk he had imagined for years. The teacher stepped outside. She was not angry. Somehow, that made it worse. He waited for you, she said. There was nothing wrong with your work. You simply stopped coming. Leo opened his mouth to explain, but every reason he had repeated to himself for months suddenly sounded very small. He walked back to the bus stop in the darkness. The driver looked at him through the open door. You were close again today. Leo tried to smile. Close isn't the same as on time. The doors closed. The bus pulled away, exactly on schedule. And for the first time in his life, Leo did not blame the bus. Next morning, Leo bought a small notebook. On the first page, he wrote one sentence: 6 o'clock is a promise. Nothing changed that day or the next. But on Thursday, at 10 minutes before 6, a customer walked in with a long list. Leo reached for a basket. His father watched him. You keep looking at that clock, he said. Leo lowered his eyes. I don't want to leave you with all this work. His father stayed quiet for a moment. Then he pointed toward the drawing tape behind the counter. The paper had turned yellow around the edges. I kept that for 20 years, he said. I thought staying close was how you showed love. But I never asked you to build your entire life around my shop. Leo stood by the door. He looked back at the crates, at the shelves, at his father, already reaching for the basket. Then he stepped outside. He reached the bus stop with 2 minutes to spare. That was the first evening he sat by the window. It was not the last difficult evening. Some nights he was too tired to study. One week he failed a simple wiring test and did not open his books for 3 days. The notebook stayed in his pocket. 6 o'clock is a promise, so he went back. Not perfectly, just consistently. Winter arrived early that year. In January, his father's hands became too painful to lift the morning crates. He tried to hide it. Leo noticed. Now Leo opened the shop alone at 5 in the morning. Then he studied. Then he worked all day. Then he caught the bus. He was exhausted, and the course was still not finished. Then one night, a snowstorm knocked out power across the entire town. The shop went dark. The old freezer stopped humming. Inside was everything the family planned to sell that month. 6 hours without power, and it would all be ruined. Leo lit a candle and opened the back panel. His hands were shaking, not because the repair was difficult, but because this was the exact moment he had been preparing for without realizing it. He checked the fuse. He traced the wires the way he had practiced 100 times on broken radios. He found the burned contact. At 2 in the morning, the freezer began humming again. Cold air touched his face. His father stood in the doorway, holding the candle. He did not say anything. He did not need to. 3 weeks later, the final exam of the course arrived. It was held in the city early in the morning. miss it, and Leo would have to wait another full year. That night, the snow returned. At 5 in the morning, Leo walked to the bus stop. The road was white and silent. He waited 10 minutes, 20, then a neighbor called out from a window, "No buses today, the road is blocked." The old Leo would have gone home. He would have called it fate. He would have said, "Next year." Leo looked down the empty, snow-covered road. Then he started walking. 11 kilometers. Snow filling his shoes. Wind cutting across his face. He walked for almost 3 hours. He arrived at the exam room 12 minutes before it began, soaked and shaking. He sat down. He passed. That was the morning Leo understood something. He had never truly needed the bus. He had only needed to stop waiting for it. The story of the boy who fixed a freezer during a blackout spread quickly through the small town. The following Tuesday, a white van parked outside the shop as it always did. Omar came in for his tea and bread. This time he stayed. "I heard about the freezer," he said, "and I heard you walked to your exam." He placed his cup down. "I can teach a person skills, but I cannot teach someone to walk 11 kilometers through the snow. Come and work with me." Leo still rode the same bus home every evening. One night, the driver smiled as he stepped aboard. "You don't run anymore." Leo looked out at the passing town. "I stopped chasing yesterday." The doors closed. The bus pulled away, exactly on time. Leo's life did not change on the day he passed the exam. It changed on a Thursday evening, 10 minutes before 6, when he put down a basket and walked out of a door. Most people are waiting for a big moment. Almost no one gets one. Instead, we get small evenings, small choices, small opportunities to begin again. If this story stays with you, try 2 things. First, choose one thing that truly matters to you and give it the same 20 minutes every single day, not when you feel ready, at the same time, the way a bus keeps its schedule. Second, ask yourself one honest question tonight. What am I delaying because I am afraid to begin? Write the answer down. You do not have to solve it today. You only have to stop pretending you have not noticed it. Somewhere in your life there is a 6 o'clock. It has been arriving quietly for years. You do not need more time. You need to be standing there when it comes. If this story helped you, share it with someone who keeps saying, "I'll start tomorrow." And if you would like more stories like this one, told slowly and honestly, you are welcome to subscribe to Vin Whispers. Thank you for giving this story your time. The bus was never late. The future simply refused to wait.